Hi there. Welcome to Adventure in Art. My name is Ben Staley. On this little episode, we're going to talk about some portraits I captured in the country of Mozambique with my Leica Q2 during a recent work trip. This one is going to get real. Hang on. So if you watch the channel at all, you will know that this little guy, my Leica Q2, is pretty much my favorite adventure camera, my favorite adventure digital camera. It goes with me everywhere, along with my M6, and I've had it a couple of years now. I've drug it literally all over the world. It's battered and beat up, but still going pretty strong. I love it because I can shoot in the pouring rain with it. I can drag it through a jungle. I've had it in the desert. I've had it out in the ocean, sprayed with salt water. I've had it in nearly every kind of environment you can imagine. And it just keeps on ticking, and it doesn't let me down. And it allows me to capture a wide variety of photos while I'm traveling. Now, my all-time favorite kind of photos to capture are what I call documentary portraits, and that's just on-the-street portraits. That's just people I meet in passing during my travels, during my adventures. Could be anywhere, in a shop, on the street, at work somewhere, in an airport, whatever. I love just meeting people, seeing them, thinking they have an interesting face, maybe there's a deeper story there, and boom, raising my camera, getting a portrait with their consent, of course. We're going to talk about that at the end of the video, what it takes to do that kind of portraiture. But that is just something I do a lot in my travels, taking pictures of anybody interesting that I meet, if I think that it's appropriate and I like the lighting and it's just the moment is right. I can't pass up that opportunity. It's just too tempting. So without further ado, let's just get right into this. Back in, geez, when was it? I've been traveling so much. Mid-May? Yes, back in May into early June, I think. Maybe it was just May. I can't remember. It's been a whirlwind of a summer. I went to Mozambique for 2.5 weeks, maybe 18, 19 days, something like that. And all over the country, all kinds of different environments, fast-paced, rugged, brutal, didn't sleep a lot. I took a lot of photographs and I took a lot of portraits. So let me share some with you now. Here we go. This cool dude ran one of the camps we stayed at. And this gentleman was the mayor of one of the small villages. What a great smile. These dudes work at another one of the safari camps that we stayed at. Great dudes. This guy's name is Alan. He is a world-renowned scientist. Apparently, he has collected more butterfly specimens than anyone in history. This gentleman's name is Tomo. He's one of the toughest dudes I've ever met. What a great guy. What a great face. There's a Q2 shot from a helicopter. And this is Pete, the pilot. And that's Harry, another pilot, just at dawn. I like that shot. Now these gents and ladies are all rangers in a game preserve, and they're training to protect the wild animals.
they take things very seriously. You'll notice some of these are edited in color and some in black and white. I don't have a rule, I just go on instinct. Sometimes I do both, sometimes I just do one or the other.
You know, I haven't really talked about it yet very much on the channel, but I had a non-typical upbringing. I guess that's the only way to put it. You know, I grew up in fairly remote Alaska, off the grid, no electricity, no running water, no indoor plumbing. I chopped a lot of wood growing up. We hunted and fished for the bulk of our food. Didn't have a flushing toilet until I was 18 and moved out to go to college. So that's how I was raised, okay? I guess if you really looked at it, I never thought about it this way, but you know, I guess by typical standards, we would probably be considered kind of poor. Didn't have a lot of extra stuff, didn't have the niceties, didn't go on vacations. Sometimes, maybe only once or twice a year, we would get to eat in a restaurant or have a pizza or a cheeseburger or something like that. Having said that, I never once as a kid went hungry. In fact, ate really good. Always had shoes, always had a warm jacket, always had enough clothes. And now sometimes those clothes came from a secondhand store, but I never went without clothes. I was never cold, never worried about where my next meal might come from. I guess thinking about it, I'm sure there were times then, you know, being a kid, maybe we were closer to not eating than I realized, but we always did. And I never worried about it, and it wasn't a stress that I had to cope with as a child. I guess what I'm trying to say is I realize, and I have realized as an adult, that I grew up a little differently and we didn't have a lot, and I'm really grateful for what I have now. There are people all over the world that live with profoundly less than we. When I say we, I mean me and you, if you're able to watch this YouTube video, probably on your phone or on your TV or whatever. We are, regardless of what we might have or might not have, or how we're struggling or all that, we have infinitely more than many people on the planet. And while we kind of know that, I'm sure you know that, I've always known that, it's still to a degree an abstract concept. It's still to a degree kind of an abstract concept, right? Until you're sort of smacked in the face with it, until you travel, until you see people that live with radically less than you're accustomed to. Let's get into some of these other portraits.
She did, man. Their smiles just light up, man. I love it.
Some of these more remote villages are very simple. Huts made of mud, thatched roofs. A lot of these folks don't have shoes, or maybe they have some sandals. This gal's doing dishes. Water is not close by, so they have to walk a long ways to get water. This gentleman built this marimba by himself. It was beautiful when he played it. I was told that most of these folks have one set of clothing, and that's what they wear all the time. Notice the setup there for making straw mats. I love all these faces so much. What a great face. None of these folks spoke any English, but they're all very friendly, mischievous even. You can see them all laughing. Look at that little boy.
I struggled for a while. I mean, I captured these images back in May, and I struggled for a while with how to present them, how to show them, what to do with them. What do you do with this stuff? You go to these other countries and you travel around, you photograph these people. They're still there. Now I'm here, I'm back home. I have all these images. What do I do with them? What am I broadcasting to the world? How am I going to present it? What am I trying to say as an artist, as a storyteller? I want you to know or feel what I'm feeling, because I was feeling a certain thing when I captured these images, and I feel those things now when I look at them. I want you to feel those things too. I want you to think about it. Think about the things I've already talked about. How privileged you probably are. Maybe you're not. I don't know. I'm not going to make broad assumptions, but I'm just, like I said before, I'm assuming if you're watching this YouTube video, you're fantastically wealthy compared to many people on this planet. And what do you do about that? Should you do anything? Does it matter? Can you do anything? I don't have these answers.
This woman didn't speak any English, but through one of our guides who could translate, I asked her how old she was. She said she couldn't remember, but she thought she must be about 40. She was amazing. So sweet, so friendly. I photographed her feet because I don't think she's ever owned shoes. She thought I was silly, but she put up with it. I love this guy's face. What a great face. And a super friendly guy. He was missing an arm. This dude in the apple shirt, he had a bag with him full of dried rats, and he was collecting them and smoking them to sell. I asked him to put on his hoodie so I could take his portrait. There he is again. What a great face.
I'm compelled to capture these images. What am I going to do with them? I don't think they're going to end up on social media trying to get likes. I think a few of them will end up on my website in some kind of portfolio. I'm very pleased with many of them. Why? Mostly because of the emotional reaction I had to the whole experience, the experience of capturing them, the experience of interacting with these people. That's what the images do for me. They make me feel. They make me think. They make me contemplate. They make me grateful for what I have. You know, as an artist, we're striving for more. We're striving to create more, to reach some kind of level of success. A lot of times just so we can pay our bills with our art, right? That's like, for me, that was the benchmark for a long time. I just want to get to a place where I can pay my bills with my creativity. And a lot of times, you know, when you're stuck in that loop of just striving for that, striving for recognition, for acceptance, for just a way to make a living as an artist, you sometimes overlook, I'm certainly guilty of it, you overlook all the wonderful things that you have to be grateful for. Small things. A warm bed to sleep in, a refrigerator full of food, shoes for your feet, a closet full of clothes. We have so much to be grateful for. I don't want to forget that.
I love photographing children wherever I go. And these kids, they don't have much, far less than I had when I was their age. But they're so happy. They seem so full of joy in life. Amazing faces. This is a homemade stereo. It's a computer chip with a battery Rig 2A microphone. Amazing. These kids, they have slingshots around their neck. One of them had some small fish tied to his belt. He was very proud of those fish. One of my coworkers took this picture with my camera.
I want to use my time and my art and my skills and my ability to find a way to show people all the things they have to be grateful for. In some way, I want to do that. Like, you know, you can find yourself just bitching about the silliest little things, right? Traffic. Maybe your latte was 2 minutes later than you would have liked arriving to you. Your $6 latte. Some of these people in these villages, they don't make $6 in a week. We casually throw it away on coffee. I don't know what to do about that. Should I do anything? You can see I'm still grappling with all this. I'd like to have that conversation with you. I feel like I'm probably not touching on it as deeply as I would like. I'm very proud of these portraits and this time I spent with these people. All of them. I wish I could help them in some way, but maybe I don't need to. People live in different ways, in different places, in different times. I live here, this way. You're over there, out there, through that camera lens, through the internet, watching this days, weeks, months, years later, living your life your way. Some of these people are there, an ocean away, a continent away, living the way they've always lived. It is what it is. We're all different. Different creatures having different experiences on the same little rock spinning through space. Before we sign off here, let's just get into some nuts and bolts. How do you take documentary style portraits like this, street portraits, is another way to call them. How do you do it? I mean, you can walk up and stick your camera in someone's face and pull the trigger. I'm proud of these images because I'm proud of what's in these people's eyes. It's It's not about your camera at all. It's about you. It's about what's in your heart. It's about what's in your head. It's about the energy that you're broadcasting out when you meet someone, when you connect to them, when you ask them if you can take their picture on camera. Because that's all I do. Most of these folks don't speak a damn lick of English, don't understand a single word. You know, everybody knows what a camera is, even if they don't own one or don't see them very often, as I'm sure they don't in some of these villages. They're very remote, very primitive, no electricity, no electronics. I think somehow people do know what a camera is, obviously. I raise the camera, I smile, I point at it. If I get a positive response, meaning a nod or a smile in return, I wave the I raise the camera and I take the picture. If I don't get a positive response, just as important, I don't just drop the camera, drop my face, turn away, go to the next person. I smile, I nod, I say, it's okay. How are you doing? If you meet someone on the street and you want to take their picture, they have this face that you want to capture. The light's right, the setting's right, it feels like the right moment. It takes courage. You have to get up the guts to do it. So you raise the camera, which is asking the question, yes, may I? They say no, no pictures, no photo. Okay. Well, don't just turn and walk away. Don't just scowl. Sure, you're disappointed. Don't show that. Show understanding. Show compassion. I don't want my picture taken most days. I don't like my picture being taken. I don't really like sitting here in front of this camera talking. This is my least favorite part about making these videos. So I understand perfectly well when someone doesn't want me to take their picture. Let that person know that they have more value to you beyond just being a snapshot, being something that you capture in that moment. Hopefully they do have more value to you. They're a living, breathing human soul right in front of you. Whether they're going to let you take their picture or not, they're going about their life, they're struggling, they're trying to get through it. They have probably similar concerns to you. Where's my next meal coming from? How am I going to feed my family? What am I doing for work? That kind of thing. Food, shelter, safety. I think if you want to be a documentary photographer, you want to take portraits of people in strange countries, on other continents, other parts of the world, you got to have some compassion. You've got to have some life in your heart. You've got to be interested in people. You've got to care about people. It's not about you. You're privileged to be there. Getting to travel like that, getting to experience other cultures, it's a fantastic blessing. It's rare. Not everyone gets to do it. Remember that. Be kind to people. Realize that on a nuts and bolts level, it's not about your camera, it's not about your fancy lens, it's not about how many megapixels you have. What's going to make that picture matter or not matter is how you interact with that person and the energy you're putting out. Before the picture happens and after the picture happens. It's more important than I can possibly state. I want to hear your thoughts about all this. I feel like this has been kind of a rambly video. I've thought about this one for a long time, and I knew it was coming and that I needed to just do it and get it over with. I hope that I've inspired you a little bit. I hope that I've challenged you a little bit. And I hope that somehow, maybe even a little bit, you look at your own life and you are grateful for what you do have. It's okay to want more. It's okay to strive for something bigger, a different kind of life, but still, things could be a lot worse. And for some people, they are. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I do appreciate it that anyone shows up at all to see my ramblings, to look at my photos, to go on these journeys with me. So I appreciate all of you. So why don't you turn off the YouTube, go outside, take your camera, go find some strangers on the street, and as long as they seem safe to approach, see what you can do. See if you can make some work. Take some portraits. Let me know how it was. Leave me a comment. If you liked it, give it a like. If you haven't already, bing, 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 hit that subscribe button. I'll be back very soon. Thank you for watching. Be safe out there.